Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, fourth chapter, Withdrawal with the Wisdom. In spite of we live in this world, in spite of all the ups and downs, in spite of pain and pleasure, how to live without any attachment in this world? The only solution, the answer is if you have the knowledge about the reality, what really the world means, what really me, the Jiva means, and what is the real meaning of the Ishvara. When we understand the correct meaning and the identity between all these three, there is only one reality, that is the Brahman or the Atman or the consciousness. When a person realizes this truth, then only it is possible for him to handle the situations in the life without getting any disturbance. All of us are handling, but without getting disturbance. That means without getting agitated, irritated, and frustrated, frightened, without feeling any jealous. So, with the equanimous mind to function, the person needs to know this reality. So, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogam. That's why the title given to this particular chapter. Now, in this, we have completed in the last class up to the 25th shloka. 24th shloka is very, very important. From 24th onwards, Bhagavan is going to give which lifestyle is the suitable lifestyle for the spiritual growth. Which lifestyle is called a spiritual lifestyle. That's why here we don't see any description about a specific god, specific puja, or specific religious practices, but these yajnas, in the name of yajna, what Lord is started talking, is a common for everyone for his or her own spiritual growth. This we must remember. I would like to repeat once again these two shlokas, then we'll continue further. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Brahmarpanam Brahmavihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaivate Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. After given a very, very cryptic shloka, the general meaning, the deeper meaning, all that I have explained to you, just I will remind in a simple way. Just now, as I told you that whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you experience through your senses, including your body, mind, intellect complex, and as well as the world in front of you, or whatever you listened, heard, imagining about the Ishvara, the God, everything is pervaded by only one truth, that is called Brahma. Being all these things are together supported by, depended on, and illumined by only one principle, the consciousness Brahman. Now, what is happening actually here, either in our body or in the cosmos? Body is a Veshti individual and the cosmos is the Samashti total. Here, every one thing is offered in the other thing. So, like this, each one is offered and cancelled each other. This offering one into the other and merging into the other, and that is merging in the other, like this process is called yajna, sacrificing. So, in our body also, in the outer side also, everywhere, everything is interdependent and interrelated and inter sacrificing and merging into other. So it is a kind of phenomena, a drama, otherwise we can say it is keep on happening like that. So there is nothing to be worried, there is nothing to be excited, there is nothing to be expected, something is new. Even scriptures say even God cannot create anything new. The matter cannot be created, matter cannot be destroyed, even according to the science. So where is the question of even Ishvara cannot create a ounce of matter again? Whatever is there already is there. That is there is the existence, but it appears as though if it is modified and in superficially with so many names and forms. So that is the meaning here. Amibaji to Brahmaji. So in your day-to-day actions, whatever you do through the Kayika, Vachika, Manasika, all are offering into that fire of Brahman. So in this way, very, very with deep Vedantic meaning, Bhagavan said this shloka, which is very important. That's why even in the Rudram, one portion, it comes like this. Vak yagnena kalpadam, mano yagnena kalpadam, atma yagnena kalpadam, yagno yagnena kalpadam. See, everywhere. Vak is offered in the yajna, and manas also offered in the yajna, and Atma also offered sacrifice in the yajna, and finally the yajna is offered into the yajna. Okay, that's it. Enough. No need to go with the deeper meaning. Some some extent you are able to understand. So in Upanishads, other one Shanti Patha is also is there. ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयधि वेदस्य माणीस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि. Like that. So all these things are telling only one thing. Same way, otherwise the another Shanti Pata, ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. The Purnam, complete, the Brahman alone exists. All others are just an appearance. Now, to realize this knowledge to the core and establishing this knowledge without any trace of doubt, it takes time. From a person to person, it differs how long it will take to assimilate and establish in this knowledge. So, Bhagavan in the 25th shloka, therefore, until everybody, until the seeker establish in this knowledge firmly, different kinds of yajnas. So, Lord wants to enumerate here a dozen yajnas, and finally he is going to highlight in the starting also, in the end also, all the 11 yajnas are only a supportive, but the main yajna ultimately to establish in the Brahma Jnana is Jnana Yajna. In the 25th shloka, we saw two yajnas. One is the Jnana Yajna. There I said the meaning that the individual Jivatma should be offered into the total Paramatma and become discovering the identity of oneness. But this is the highest, even though everybody, it is not everybody's cup of tea. Okay, because the bhedam difference is there in the qualification. Mandha adhikari, madhyam adhikari, and uttam adhikari. Now Bhagavan is telling for the madhyam adhikaris later few more topics, and in that the second one, many people prefer to worship the different devatas, the gods, particularly in the form of the karma yoga or upasana yoga. So, but it is also a kind of yajna because it will purify their mind ultimately. So they will slowly will come to the final stage of the that gnana yajna. Now after that, now today we will see in the 26th shloka two more yajnas Bhagavan tells here. श्रोत्रादीनिन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुहति शब्दादीन् विषयानन्ये इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुहति. Here I will take for our understanding purpose to remember in a sequence order. Of course, in the previous sloka, the two things are told, one about the Adhyatmika Marga, the spiritual lifestyle, and another is told about the religious lifestyle. Unless otherwise a person is following the religious lifestyle in the beginning, he cannot become eligible for the spiritual lifestyle. So without the religious lifestyle, attaining the spiritual lifestyle is impossible. Same way, without attaining the spiritual lifestyle, and the religious lifestyle is incomplete. It is incomplete. Now, after that, now where to start? How to understand these two? One is first from you. You start from you. Okay, some actions which you are already doing, convert them into the yajna bhavana. So here a discipline, okay, The path of discipline is explained in the second line. First I will take, because what Bhagavan saying here is, there are five sense objects outside, because we have only five senses, Gnanendriyas, Shabdadi, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Corresponding this to these five, there are outside the respective locations, or the objects are there. So what some people will do, they withdraw the indriyas, okay, indriyas, they withdraw from the sensual objects, the five Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, and offer in their sense organs. This is all actually a bhavana. This yajna is a bhavana. Not later he will tell exactly what outside some yajnas which you do in the form of the action. But here, this is a little subtle within me, bhavana. Otherwise, how can what I have to withdraw, and how can the sense objects are merged, offered into the senses. Okay. Understand in a simple way like this. That means whenever the eyes goes to see the things, and when they are running behind them and getting lost in them, and otherwise don't allow them to go to see everything, okay, whatever comes appears in front, and let them not get addicted to them. So you just withdraw them, and sense objects, that means the vision is the one sense object. Yes, vision is common for everybody. Vision have no biasness, and it illuminate all the colors and forms. So all the color forms and forms are mithya, they are not permanent. So let me focus my attention in my sense organ, the eye means not physical eye only, the power of eye, seeing power. So in this way, first of all, let your senses not go run behind the outer objects. Let them uh, be back in their own places. Doing like this is a kind of yajna. So Indriya Agnishu. Here Indriyas are like the Agni, and the Shabdadi Sparshas all offered. Actually, this is only we are doing. Whenever eyes are seeing, those objects are taken into the vision, and they are merged into the senses. This is in another terms called as uparati in the yogic language when you talk about the Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, so not uparati, pratyahara, uparati, both are same, but uparati comes in the sadhana chatte sampatti list, but same thing is told in the pratyahara in the yamaniyamas. Okay. Asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Okay. Now the next fourth one is Shrotradin. Now these five sense organs are there. Now from the sense objects we came to the senses. Now our all five senses should be offered in the mind. That means controlling the senses, because five senses are actually holded by, governed by, controlled by the mind. So the senses doesn't have on their own any freedom. but they are connected, controlled by the mind. So let them go back to the mind and merge. Offer them samyamagnishu here. Samyamam means samyak, properly in the mind. This samyama word Bhagavan is going to use next also. So here we take it as a mind. According to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, samyamam is a different meaning in that context. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, three together he calls as a manas samyamanam, samyam. But here, uh, samyak yamam, samyamam. Yama means control. Samyak means properly. So let the five sense organs offered in the mind. Offered in the mind. That means, so we are step by step, like this nowadays we can't see the transistors, radios, and all that, particularly the battery radio. They will have the antenna aerial. When you pull that small rod like that, that will come so tall because that down portion of that aerial rod is the bigger. The next portion is little smaller. Next is smaller, smaller, smaller. So from the top you press them, each one go into inside, and all they set in one small rod aerial. Okay. So in the same way, that now of course we are starting from here. Okay, you think like senses are brought to the sense objects are brought to the senses. Senses are brought to the mind. In another yogic language, it is called or damaha, okay, sense control. Or in the sadhana chatura sampatti also, shama dama damaha, dama yagnam. Okay, one is pratyahara yagnam, another is dama yagnam. So in this way, slowly we are, that means controlling our senses, keeping them in their own respective place. But they are there for us to utilize and interact in this world. But in the name of the interaction, we should not become slaves to it. And we should not forget the goal of our life. We should not too much become indulged in the worldly things. So for that, some discipline is required, no? So here damaha is pratyahara and damaha, two yajnas. Total four yajnas now Bhagavan said. See, generally what we have the idea, yajna means there should be four Brahmins and Agni Kundam, Yajna Kundam should be there. So many uh, objects will be there to offer in it. So this is general our idea, yajna means. But see how Bhagavan brought into the day-to-day life and which connects to your spiritual life slowly. Then in the 27th shloka, सर्वाणीन्द्रियकर्माणि प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ जुहति ज्ञानदीपिते. Now the next step, all the senses are matched or offered in the mind before. Now here one more time the word samyamam has come. Okay, Atma samyama yogagno. Here Atma means intellect in this context. In this context, scriptures very randomly use these words Atma. Sometimes it is meant for the mind, sometimes even to say this physical body, the person. And the now here intellect. Sarvani indriya karmani prana karmani. In this 27th sloka, only one yajna total. But it is almost looks like a repetition of the previous one, but it is not repetition, one step going higher and further. Now, after the mind, what is there? The higher mind is there, that we'll call generally in the technical term as the buddhi or intellect, or the combination of the all these three four together. Mano buddhi chitta ahankara we'll call as the antakaranam. Okay, inner instrument, one and the same. But here, to understand this particular thing, keep the chitta and the ahankara separate. The mind is also governed by, mind also gets lot of fluctuations. Whatever it received the information, whatever it is recollecting and from the memory, for all that, the higher mind, okay, or buddhi, the discerning and discriminating power will guide the mind, should guide the mind. But unfortunately, many times in many cases, our higher mind is not sharp. The lower mind is so strong and adamant, not ready to listen to the higher mind. One way to say what is higher mind actually, nothing inside our conscience, okay, our what to say, our consciousness we cannot say, because in consciousness there is no any kind of modifications, nirvikaraha consciousness. But here consign means my inner voice, we say, no, at the heart of the heart, I know that I am doing wrong, and in from inside something comes and yes, oh, don't do this, this is not suitable to you, it is not good for you, like that there is some inner suggestion comes. The inner correct suggestion, whenever it comes, remember that is the higher mind is active. All the bad suggestions and the negative suggestions all will come from the lower mind. You understand? Because buddhi is always a discerning, discriminating power faculty. How it can go wrong? But wrong things are done by the mind, and the buddhi is shut uh, quiet for some time. So we have to cultivate and hand over this mind to the higher mind. That Lord says here, it is a kind of yajna. Let me listen to my inner voice, that what my conscience says, that intellect. Genuinely ask and see that whether I am going in a right path or not, which is good and which is bad for me, which is priyam and hitam. If you ask, every one of us will get a answer from within ourselves, because the higher mind buddhi is always ready to help us, ready to help us. The judge is always ready to help the good, okay, innocent people. The judge is always to punish and uh, throw out the enemies or the evil people. Is it not? Same way buddhi is considered as the judge. And if that buddhi, so buddhi is not becoming bad, the mind, the lower mind, because you never given attention to listen to your inner voice, that is called. So here Bhagavan says that, and not only that, one more also we can add. Not only he want to say totally your prana karmani, the word he added, sarvani indriyani. About the indriyas already he said, but specially pranakarmani api cha. That means even your organs of the actions. That means totally your organs of karmendriyas and the gyanendriyas and your mind and all that should obey to the intellect. Obey to the intellect. That's why obey means what? You surrender. Surrendering means what? Offer. Offering is called yajna. That's why here some people, that means who practicing this controlling, all this together is only a yama and or dama and here shamaha. Calming down the mind and making the mind to surrender to the intellect is called Atma Samyama Agno. In the Agni, the fire of the intellect, Buddhi, Juhati. Who can do this? And an intellect person only can do this. That's why Lord adding here Gnana Deepena. Gnana Deepena means, see, use your high Gnana Deepa means here Buddhi. That's why I'm keep on telling now, no, listen to the inner voice. Give some time and respect to it and surrender it. So, Gnana Deepena, with the light, with the torch of the intellect, and let this all your sense organs, including the mind. That's why Ekadasha Indriyam. Sometimes Upanishad says, some places, Ekadasha Indriyam. Mind also comes as the one of the Indriyams. 5 plus 5 plus 1, 11. Okay. That's why maybe Ekadashi also to control and keep all of them and give rest to them and let all focus only about the truth. Maybe Ekadasi Vratam Upavasam. Atma Samyama Agnau. Atma Samyama Yoga Agnau. Why it is yoga? Yoga means again union. Union of what? The lower union of the lower mind with the higher mind. And this lower mind should take along with it 5 karmendriyas and 5 gnanendriyas, because karmendriyas are all controlled by majorly because of the prana shakti, prana. So each the hands of the, what are the karmendriyas? I need not to remind you. Okay, vak, pani, padam, payu, upastha. Hands, legs, and the tongue, the speaking tongue, not eating tongue, and the organs of the excretion and the organs of the reproduction. All these are all 5 karmendriyas. Now, in this way, 5, totally 5 yajnas are sorry. See, so puja, outer side yajnas are all okay, but how important for a person to guide himself, to lead himself from the lower to the higher and higher and higher and to the divinity. So for that, all these yajnas are will help. That's why Lord enumerating them. Then in the 28th sloka, 5 more, in one sloka, 5 more Bhagavan is going to tell. Dravya yajnas tapo yajnaha yoga yajnas tatha pare स्वाध्यायज्ञानयज्ञाश्च यतयः संशितव्रताः. Here, Bhagavan is now coming little more down, which is very easy for everybody to understand. He is coming to the from the self-discipline part. The previous things are all self-discipline. controlling the senses, dama, controlling the mind, uh, shama, and such a person, then he also interact in the world. He has to live in with the people world. But there you again do some religious practices. See here he is coming down little lower. Down means they are not uh, very low or like that. But for some people it is very easy to. And some are doing that also. What is that? The number one. Here we can go in order. Sixth is Dravya Yajnaha. Some are doing the Dravya Yajnam. Here Dravya Yajnaha plural. That means many people are there and many kinds of Dravya Yajnas. Offering of the Dravyam. Basically, the meaning is here doing the charity, dhanam. Dravyam means not only the money, uh, dravyam, any kind of object also. Giving to somebody, doing the dhanam. So, generally, Lord kept the word dravya yajnaha. Okay. Dhanam means generally nowadays we think only that giving some money, but there are so many dhanams according to the Shastra. Okay. Uh, Dhanadhanam, Pashudanam, Godanam, Bhudanam, Swarnadanam, and so many Shastra tells it. I will tell you still simply so many. Even you speak a sweet word and a consoling and concerning, combating, compassionate word is also a Vachika Dhanam, speech Dhanam. Or teaching like this something which is about the Ishvara or the Atma is also a kind of dhanam. But without dhanam means you are giving, you are not expecting anything. In this way, give a good word. Even you just look at the others and smile sweetly. That is also a dhanam because the smile is makes a other miserable, depressed, dejected person to feel happy. Okay, you smile. So what you have to spend for it? Nothing. To give a good advice or good word, what you have to spend? So even that smile dhanam. See, that understand in day to day life what. So if you see like that, so many. And then Rakta Danam, the blood donation, then food, water, whatever. And even traditionally, they give the slippers because the Brahmanas or whoever maybe the beggars or poor people comes, many may not have the chappals to their foot. So uh, they will give Padaraksha Danam. Then even umbrellas they will give according to the season and the requirement of the person, according to the place. If you see in the North India near those rivers in the cold winter season in Kumbh Mela and all that, they will give so many woolen clothes danam. So many varieties of danam by giving. It is a yajna. It is a yajna. Okay. Punyam also will come, and in what form actually punyam? It purifies your mind. You are when you are doing sacrifice and giving danam, naturally you are sharing. You are concerning about somebody also. No, it is a good quality. It purifies. You never become a greedy person. You never become a possessive person. So it is a good. It purifies your mind. So dravya yajnaha. So you can add so many. like this. Any kind of help by giving some material, that is called dravyam, dravya yajnaha, and tapo yajnaha. There are some people who impose the self-discipline on themselves. The self-imposed discipline is called tapas. Remember, that may be a small one or bigger one. We need not to compare with anybody. In Puranas, lot of stories they say, but what is your capacity? Okay, in the name of tapas, you should not torture the body. You have no right to torture the body, but you can take up some kind of tapas. For simple example, now whoever goes to the Ayappa darshan in that particular season, they all take up some tapas. They will wear the black dress, they won't wear the chappals, and they have to put the different kinds of mala. And 40 days they should not sleep on the cot, they should not eat outside, they have to take 3 times bath, they have to go at least 2 times to the temple. See, normally this person won't do that, but in that particular period he is imposing the self discipline on himself in the name of the God, in the name of the religion. It's good. It gives some kind of inner courage, inner purification, inner satisfaction, all that strength and faith on the Lord also. So there is also a sacrifice again, which generally I am not able to give up, but in the name of that particular tapas. So all these vratams are also comes under that only, Ekadashi, Dwadasi, whatever. So it is good for health also. So tapo yajnaha. So here tapas means don't imagine that you have to go to the forest and you have to go to the cave and all that. Nothing, no need. Those days people went, that is convenient environment, okay. Nowadays, wherever you are, there itself you can do your tapas. And your tapas need not to be known to anybody. Let it be a secret. It is not to strengthen your ahankar and show off and tell to many. Never. So, tapo yajna. It is also yajnam. Now here Bhagavan not said that there in the previous slokas everywhere Agnav is telling in the Agni. But here he is not mentioned. You have to understand. Dravya yajnaha, whenever we are doing charity, who is that Agni? The receiver is the Agni. Whoever may be, receiver is the Agni. And tapo yajnaha, whenever you do tapas, where you are offering, again, this is your own body, mind and senses are becoming disciplined. Tapo yajnaha, Agni, your body itself is Agni, your mind itself is Agni. Now, the eighth one is Yoga Yajnaha Tata Apare. Some are Yoga. Because Yoga, already we are talking about Yoga inside of this Yamas, Niyama, Dama, Shama, discipline. But Yoga, if you take as the Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga or Hatha Yoga, they have their own, again, many different practices. So, in that way, in the name of the yoga, Ashtanga Yoga or Hatha Yoga or Kundalini Yoga, many kinds of, they follow the different practices. Again, for what? Again, to control the senses and the mind and something to discover higher in their own bosom. So, yoga yajnaha. So, I'm not elaborating. Yoga means it can be asanas, it can be, because pranayama about Bhagavan is going to tell special in the next shloka. Then ninth one is Swadhyaya Yajnaha. That means their own Veda. Traditional I will tell first. Olden days. We belong to, my family, we belong to one particular Veda, one particular Rishi. So like that it is designed. So they have to definitely read that Parayanam and learn that Veda, at least to chant. Swadhyaya means here not the self-study of the Atma reading he himself. Swadhyaya means my own tradition, my parents, my grandparents from where, whatever, which I belong to some that particular Rishi Veda, so I have to. Like this, many are very much committed to do the Parayana and read their own Veda and related scriptures. Or nowadays to say, we don't know, sir, what is Veda, and only few Brahmins know that Veda. Don't worry about it. Even if you are committed to do Parayana of something Vishnu Sahasranamam every day, Lalita Sahasranamam, like this, even reading the Bhagavad Gita. We no need to know the meaning of it, but just you will do it as a Swadhyayam. So many follow and read their own Shakha Veda and do the Parayanam, and all that comes under the, or any these scriptural text taking and reading, just reading them also, repeating them also is a Parayanam. So each area, each different people have got the different things. Nothing wrong. There is no any specific that this you have to do. Some will do Parayana of the Tulsi Ramayanam. Anything. Sundara Kandam. So Swadhyaya Yajnaha. That is a Yajnam. Because remember, any Yajna, anything you do with the Yajna Bhavana, offering Bhavana, gratitude Bhavana, it definitely purify your mind. The purpose of the yajna is to purify the mind. Swadhyaya yajna. Then Swadhyaya yajna. So who do this? Swadhyaya gnana yajna. So again here gnana means who is having the interest, the knowledge about how to read this. Here again gnana means not the self knowledge. See, Gnana Yajnascha. Because generally we are talking from the beginning, Gnana Yajna is superior, and end also Bhagavan is going to tell. If it is superior and end, why here it is he mentioning? Okay, let us put this maybe in that way also. Swa Adhyaya, self study. Because self study only means Atma Vidya. Atma Vidya only can give the self knowledge. So that is also, in that way also we can take. But here, generally, all the commentators say that Swadhyaya means, and Gnana means here, they know how to read. If I want to read, particularly the Sanskrit, if you say, yeah, I must know how to read. If you are that consisting with the swaras markings, I must know that where is the top swaram and lower swaram and all that. When I read together, if it is a prose order, how to go, if it is a poetical order, how to read, that knowledge they have. So, Swadhyaya Gnana Yajna, Gnana Yajnascha. Or sometimes the people will split it here again, Swadhyaya Yajna, Swadhyaya Gnana Yajna. You can, Swadhyayam is one yajnam and Gnana yajnam is another yajnam. Okay. That means what? Some are very much thorough with the Vedam, not only one Veda, two Vedas, three Vedas, four Vedas also. You can take in that way also, or if you take all together as one thing, Swadhyaya Gnana Yajnascha. But ultimately, who can do this? All these things, they are all Yatayaha. Yatayaha means they are very much well disciplined. Remember, now we have come up to the nearly 9 yajnas. You need not to do all the yajnas. If you are already automatically doing and it is a habit to you, it is well and good. Okay? And at least two, three yajnas are also. Even one yajna out of this also. So, at least I must do this kind of not only my regular puja and worshipping the Lord or going the temple, but here the things are told in a different way. They give more inner vision and understanding, broad vision. So, if you have that broad vision and understanding, then you are a yatayaha. Yatayaha means who do with the effort. Yatnena yaha karoti ki yatayaha. Yatnam, prayatnam, who puts effort forward. Or yatayaha means who has got a well disciplined, designed lifestyle. Well disciplined and designed lifestyle. And they are called, not only that, samshitavrataha. Here, samshitavrataha means, uh, one, yes. In this way, who is very strong in taking the vow, vratams, samshita vrataha, persons of rigid vows. Many people you see, sometimes you come across, they are very strict about their food habits and their, even they cook themselves. We should not comment. It is their choice and it is very good. It is not so easy. It is a tapas for them. So let them do whatever they want. But ultimately, whether you are progressing spiritually or not, or you are become obsessed by them, that observation should be there. So that's why here, Swadhyaya Gnana Yajnascha Yatayaha. Generally, Yatayaha means commentaries, ascetics, tapasvis. Then again, it is only for the sannyasi or a yogi or siddhas. No. Yatayaha means I told that's why whoever put efforts forward, interested to put efforts forward. Okay. The putting efforts forward is very, very important. Later in 6th chapter, Bhagavan is going to highlight and tells about it. You must lift yourself by yourself. Okay. Shastra helps you, gives support, shows the direction. Gurus also teaches you. But ultimately, to take it or not, it is your choice. You will take the horse to drink the water near the river. But ultimately, the horse has to feel thirsty and it has to take the water. You can't do more than that anything in the same way. So, samshita vrataha. Then in the 29th shloka, Bhagavan says, exclusively, now so far we have completed 10. Okay. How if we divide that Swadhyaya Yajnam and then Gnana Yajnam. Gnana Yajnam. Gnana Yajnam means more and more uh, involving in the scriptural studies and Vedas and all that. Now, in that count, if you see 11th one, Apane juhati pranam prane panam tatha pare pranapanagati rudva pranayama parayanaha. Bhagavan specially talking about the pranayamam. Whether we do, most of us will know something or other about the pranayamam. I will just briefly tell few things about it. What Bhagavan said here is also you will understand. Pranasya yamam pranayamam. Pranayamam is one of the Ashtanga yogas. Yama niyama asana pranayama. Pranasya yamam. Regulation, controlling of the breath. Pranasya ayamam also is called pranayamam. Yamam or ayamam. Ayama means slowing down and sustaining and expanding your prana shakti, or regulating and controlling your breathing procedure. Prana is a very, very important function. The physiological, okay, physiological functions all happening. His body is living alive with only because of the breathing, prana. This prana shakti is the vital force actually which connects the body and the mind. So prana is the bridge between the body and mind. That's why if at all you want to do some corrections, any disturbances which are taking place in the body, through pranayama you can correct it. Any disturbances or fluctuations happening in the mind, also you can correct with the prana, because prana is a visible thing which, even though it is an involuntary system, but we have some control to manipulate it voluntarily. So voluntarily controlling and manipulating the involuntary system prana is called pranayama. You must learn from somebody and know. But simple pranayama, what Bhagavan explaining here is, I am not going much deeper about it because it is a big science. According to the Kundalini Hatha Yoga people, the pranayama is considered as the very highest, and they do so much about it. Okay, it is a big science, independent science pranayama, but it is connected in the Upanishads also, in the Veda also, in the religious practices also, and because it is a very much living, available fact for all of us. The living present, the fact is, if you want to keep your mind in the present, you just bring your attention to your nostrils and observe the inflow, outflow of the prana. Observing this ingoing, outcoming, the breathing itself is called Sahaja Pranayamam or Vikshana Pranayamam according to Bhagavan Ramana. He said in the scriptures, even that itself, in a day, if many times if you are just bringing your attention here, then and there the mind becomes calm. Then and there the thought waves become less in the mind. Okay, of course, that is. So many things are there. It will tremendously have the effect on both the physical body and the psychological body, this in between physiological body. And the Panchakoshas also, we say Annamaya Kosham, Pranamaya Kosham, then Manomaya Kosham. Here what Bhagavan saying is, some people in this way, the pranayama parayanaha, who are all very much involved and interested and dedicated to that pranayama practice, they will do very, very severe pranayama. Generally, pranayama means there are so many different techniques, methods, and Bastrika, Kapalabhati, all that. But this alternative nostril breathing is considered as the pranayamam, generally, basically, mukhyam. Alternative nostril breathing. That is so simple. But in that, some will take the inhalation and retain the inhalation inside is one part. So inhalation is called Purakam, retaining inside after that is called Antarkumbhakam, and exhaling out is called Rechakam. And in this way, some will apply this Kumbhaka either. Now, some will take the inhalation inside and retain the breath inside is Antarkumbhaka, and they leave it out. So, basically, Purakam, Rechakam. In between, either Antarkumbhaka or Bahya Kumbhaka. Even without Kumbhaka also, a common people, anybody can do. Even any aged person, even a sick person, if you are able to sit little bit with the help of the chair or the pillow, that is more than enough, and very, very useful. You may not able to do the yoga asana, this, that, and walking or cycling and all that, but simply sitting and inhaling through the left and exhaling through the right, inhaling through the right and exhaling through the left, but slowly, as much as possible, it gives a tremendous benefits. That's why Bhagavan also, it is, do it as yajna here, offering the inhalation in the exhalation, offering the exhalation in the inhalation. So in this way, this shloka, apane, aparam prane, prana, apana, like this five panch pranas Shastra describes. So anyhow, the 11th yajna is the pranayama yajnam. This everyone must do. Some extent is possible also twice in a day or at least once in a day. Now, after that, the 12th, 30th shloka we'll see in the next class. Gradually, slowly, Bhagavan now concludes the effect of these yajnas, how they purify the person and help him to become a fit instruments for the Gnana Yajna. And at end, Bhagavan going to glorify the how Gnana Yoga is important. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हरि ओम तत्सत्